The world of Steven Universe is full of surprises, whether it's hanging out in Beach City's restaurants and carnivals, or being in Little Homeworld to hang out with fellow gems. Many of the new gems from Gem Homeworld have chosen to live on Earth to live peaceful lives. Sadly though, there are some gems that have caused some trouble or broken several laws, so today, we're heading to Beach City Court to determine who will get off easy and who should be shattered for eternity. I'm Kristijan with Wicked Binge, and this is the sentencing of Steven Universe gems for their crimes. Court is in session. For this list, we're only going to be looking at single gems and not fusions, so Malachite and Bluebird won't be included on the list. We're also not going to include all the corrupted gems, since, well, they're corrupted and have no control over themselves. With that out of the way, court truly is now in session. Let's begin this list with the gem who's committed the fewest crimes, Lapis Lazuli. When Lapis was first introduced, she wanted to leave Earth and go back to Gem Homeworld, but she couldn't fly because her gem was cracked. So she attempted to steal the ocean to reach through space to the Homeworld. After Steven healed her gem with his spit, she left Earth, returning the ocean to its rightful place. While stealing the entire ocean was alarming to the people of Earth, she was only borrowing it until she would be able to reach Homeworld, so we feel comfortable giving her a week of community service. Crimes: robbery of the ocean. Sentence: 1 week community service. Next on the stand is the calculated, quirky gem, Peridot. Peridot started out as a cold and ruthless gem that would listen to anyone she saw as her superior. While she was very loyal to her commanders, she was making her own decisions about killing the crystal gems. When she lost her ship commander and informant, she was desperate to get off of Earth. In doing so, she evaded the crystal gems several times, which we would call resisting arrest. Ultimately, she resorted to kidnapping Steven to use his healing spit to fix the broken hubs. However, we are going to give her a lesser sentence, because after she saw how life grew, and thus defended an order from Yellow Diamond, who we'll get to later, she became one of the crystal gems and has been a great ally since then. Normally, for her particular crimes, she would receive many years in prison, but due to the reform, we've decided to pardon her and instead assign her 6 months of community service. Crimes: kidnapping, resisting arrest, attempted murder. Sentence: 6 months community service. Next on the stand is the blacksmith gem, Bismuth. Bismuth was one of the original crystal gems that provided weapons to the resistance. During the war, however, she created a weapon called the breaking point that would completely shatter any gem, even a diamond. After Steven rejected using the breaking point, she tried to murder Steven thinking that he was Rose, since she rejected it the same way he did. Attempted murder is never good, but we're giving her a lesser sentence due to Bismuth later understanding why Rose didn't want to use it. So we're also giving her 6 months of community service. Crimes: attempted murder. Sentence: 6 months community service. The next gem on the stand is Emerald. While her whereabouts are currently unknown, we feel that when she does return, she's in for a harsh sentence. She attempted to get her ship, the Sun Incinerator, back from the Off-Colors, and kill them for taking it. Stevani and the Off-Colors were able to win, and she retreated to who knows where. If we do ever find her, she'll be receiving 25 years in prison for attempting to kill Stevani and the Off-Colors for taking her ship. Crimes: attempted mass murder. Sentence: 25 years in prison. Next on the stand is one of the more offending gems on Earth, Jasper. Where do we even begin with Jasper? Let's start with her debut episode. She was shown to be a powerful commanding officer to Homeworld, and she assaulted and kidnapped Steven and the crystal gems to take them back to Homeworld. Several months after she was released from her fusion, she decided to make her own army out of corrupted gems and imprisoned them in cages she made in the Beta Kindergarten. She then used them to attack Steven and the crystal gems and Lord Amethyst's self-esteem. So even after she was uncorrupted, she barely changed, and because of this, Jasper receives 30 years in prison, though we will leave the possibility for parole. Crimes: kidnapping, assault, attempted murder, unlawful imprisonment. Sentence: 30 years in prison with the possibility of parole. Next on the stand is the one and only Ruby that we're sentencing, and that is Eyeball. Out of all the rubies that were originally searching for Jasper, Eyeball is the most experienced. After being cast into space with all the other rubies, and with Steven, she was the one who tried to kill Steven thinking that he was Rose, and even testified against him in a trial case with the diamonds. She returned with Aquamarine and threatened to kill Greg if he didn't accede to their commands. Even after she was defeated, she fled with Aquamarine to continue hating him for a long time. For those reasons, when she's captured, she'll be receiving 20 years in prison. Crimes: attempted murder. Sentence: 20 years imprisonment. Next on the stand is the ruthless water gem and Eyeball's partner, Aquamarine. Unlike Eyeball, Aquamarine is ruthless and cold to her gem core. The Great Diamond Authority ordered her to kidnap everyone that Steven mentioned in his first meeting with Peridot, and decided to take Steven over everyone else, thinking he was Rose. Years later, seeking revenge, Aquamarine teams up with Eyeball to kidnap Greg and force Steven's complicity, demanding that he poof all his friends and destroy Little Homeworld. Aquamarine gets a harsher sentence for masterminding the threat against Steven, so we're giving Aquamarine at least 30 years in prison. Crimes: kidnapping, attempted murder, assault. Sentence: 30 years in prison. The next gem on the stand is going to be the first of the diamonds, and that is Pink Diamond. Pink Diamond, aka Rose Quartz, may have been the one to save Earth from the rest of the diamonds, but that doesn't stop her from the list of crimes she committed during that time. She used a disguise to deceive the diamonds and all the other gems, and the result was that all the other Rose Quartz were bubbled for eternity. We're also adding abandonment and neglect charges for leaving Spinella in her garden for 6,000 years. We're also giving her pseudocide and torture charges. Pseudocide means simply faking your own death. In this case, she faked her shattering. The torture charge is for making the diamonds believe that Pink was gone and was unhappy for centuries. For all these charges, we're giving her at least 500 years in prison, because while she did good for the Gem War, she ended up costing thousands of gems lives because of it. So it also fits the saying, she's won, but at what cost? Crimes: abandonment, impersonation, pseudocide, neglect, and torture. Sentence: 500 years in prison. The next diamond on the stand will be Yellow Diamond. Yellow Diamond was the main commander of the Gem Army of Homeworld. Thus, she has added a list of crimes to her name. Her main ones being conquering other worlds and destroying them to make new worlds for her army of gems to grow. She's also shattered many gems that have disobeyed her and poofed gems out of rage and anger. The charge of abuse is for locking up Pink Diamond for misbehaving and using her powers of electrokinesis against Blue Diamond for standing up to her. As for attempted murder, she tried to kill Steven thinking he was Rose at least twice in the episodes The Trail and Reunited, but failed in both cases, of course. For all these charges, we'll be giving her a millennium in prison, and she'll be tasked with restoring all the gems that she and others have shattered. Crimes: assault, shattering, conquering, destruction of worlds, abuse, and attempted murder. Sentence: 1,000 years in prison. The next diamond on the stand will be Blue Diamond. While Blue hasn't shown as many crimes as the other diamonds, she's shown to be as guilty as Yellow and Pink Diamond. Her most common crime is emotional abuse, where Blue uses her powers of sadness inducement to make other gems feel her emotions of sadness. According to Garnet, she's also shattered countless gems, and she attacked the gems to get the cluster back. The kidnapping charge is for abducting Greg and taking him to the human zoo, thinking the cluster was going to emerge. For these charges, we're giving her the same sentence of 1,000 years in prison, so she can be with Yellow Diamond to ride it out. Crimes: assault, shattering, emotional abuse, kidnapping. Sentence: 1,000 years in prison. The final diamond that'll take the stand will be White Diamond. White Diamond is the leader of Homeworld, and she's committed more crimes than all the other diamonds. It was originally her idea to conquer and mass-produce gems to expand her army and shatter anyone who opposed her. Making everyone perfect, mimicking her language and color was pure abuse. She pushed it to the extreme with her mind control powers, making them straight up her puppets. For these kinds of serious crimes, we'll be giving her eternity in prison without the possibility of parole. Because even though Steven changed her mind and she's attempting to help gems now, she can still make everything about herself. Crimes: mind control, abuse, mass conquering, and mass shattering. Sentence: eternity in prison. No parole. But real quick, before we get to our last entry, if you're enjoying the sentencing format, make sure to check out our cinema sentencing channel. We'll actually be sentencing characters from live action movies and television series over there, and we'd love for you to check it out. Link below. Thanks so much. And finally, we've reached our final gem to take the stand, and that will be the main antagonist for the movie, Spinella. After she waited 6,000 years for Pink Diamond, she decided to get revenge against Steven and the crystal gems for abandoning her. Her main plan was to inject the Earth with poison with Pink's injector and destroy all organic life on the planet. She then assaulted Steven and the crystal gems and wiped out everyone's memories, except for Steven's, and their powers. Later, Spinella tried to kill Steven, figuring that he only needed her to turn off the injector, so she thought that he would abandon her like Pink did. For these crimes, we're giving Spinella a sentence of 750 years in prison. She's getting a lesser sentence than the other diamonds because she was abandoned by Pink Diamond for 6,000 years, so her actions are more understandable. Crimes: attempted destruction of Earth, assault, memory erasure, and attempted murder. Sentence: 750 years in prison. And that is it for everyone in Beach City Court. Do you all agree with our sentences? Let us know, and make sure to hit that notification bell and binge our other sentencing videos. And most importantly, stay wicked.